Shalom. All praises to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakwa Dash. Double honors to the elder apostles, the bishops, and the elders of GMS through as well. Peace and salutations to the elect. My name is Aynal. The title of this video is The American Dream is Through. Basically, this is just going into the fact that America is on its last leg. It's dying. And the people see it. The officials see it, whether they want to admit it or not. And that's why you see things like them moving with great speed to try to fix this snare that they're caught into, right? Which is the end of the world. So that's pretty much it. The American dream is through. No one can safely come to America and try to achieve a green card or, citizenship, or because this cruel Lord, pursuant to Isaiah 19, this dude is running around, which is Donald Trump. He's running around with his ICE agents, arresting people and shipping them off. Even people that have been here, born here, lived here, have all the documents. If you look a certain way, they're just grabbing you up, and that's them moving with that speed. Pursuant to Revelation 12:12 and that great wrath to try to bring in that peace and safety, pursuant to 1 Thessalonians 5:3. This is Isaiah 19:3. It says, "And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols, and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards. And the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord Yahweh, the Lord of hosts." Right? So this is Donald Trump, right? Donald Trump has taken office. He's bypassing all court systems, the Senate and everything, and basically issuing out executive orders. And then even if the Senate or whatever, they say, no, you can't do that, he still does it. So America is no longer safe to just be here, and think you're going to come here and have a better life,
Events have raised serious concerns about safety in the Recent events have raised serious concerns about safety in the United States for international tourists, as both the United Kingdom and Germany have issued stark travel warnings following the shocking detention of a woman under circumstances that resemble those of a notorious figure. In the wake of these alarming travel advisories, families across Europe are re-evaluating their vacation plans, pondering whether America's once inviting attractions are still safe for their loved ones. Travel experts are now weighing in, explaining how this unprecedented situation could shift perceptions about safety and influence travel trends as tourists opt for destinations they deem more secure. Recent events have raised serious...
Right, and what? You don't see right now what? Nukes flying over here, bombs flying over here like you have in some of these other areas, right? No, what you have is what? This cruel Lord, Donald Trump, moving like a madman, just arresting people, firing people. They even, videos in the past talked about how he's firing park workers and things like that, where now anybody come here, you may go into a bathroom and it's dirtier than usual because the staff is just short staffed, whatever the case may be. All right, and that's Trump trying to say or whatever he's fixing. But ultimately, this is the Most High putting that shameful spewing on Esau, Edom, right, and dimming their glory. America isn't that place anymore. And to be truthful, we're at the end. Nowhere is the place, to be honest. But anyway, this is Isaiah 47:1. It says, "Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground, there is no throne. O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate." See, this is no more that great melting pot. It still is, but it's not safe, right? Because we're in turbulence. Just like the planes falling out the sky. America has turbulence. It says, "Take the millstone and grind mill, uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man." Right? The scriptures say that Yahushua is coming to set, fire on earth, and how he wished it was already burning, right? And it is. It is burning, and that's the point. It says, "As for our Redeemer, the Lord, Yahweh of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Israel. Sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O door of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdom. See, America was that place to be. Go travel, visit wherever, Disney World, which is all filled with the pedophiles and, trafficking of the sex, children tunnels, right? All these different things has been found out about this wicked, abominable, place, America, right? Vile, horrible, all the killings, a lot of killings, through the foods, the air, cloud seeding, the rain, shoot, the planes falling out the sky, cars randomly just catching on fire. You driving down the highway, you see a whole car on fire for no reason. Teslas exploding. I was wroth with my people, I have polluted mine inheritance, and given them into thine hand. And thou didst show them no mercy. Upon the ancients as thou very heavily laid thy yoke. See, we're the people of the Lord, the Israelites, the Hebrew Israelites, the so-called black man, woman, and child, right? Well, through slavery and mixing and things like that, we're now, as a speckled bird, so it's not about color, but predominantly, we are a dark people. And Esau has very heavily laid the yoke on us, the Lord's people, and he will be judged and destroyed for it. All right. And that's why his kingdom is fallen, and there's nothing he can do about it. It says, and thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart. Now that just remember the latter end of it. So he wasn't thinking about what's going to happen in the end. He's in the moment while he had us, he just did whatever. So now he's also going to drink of that cup. And we're at that time. It's over. Lamentations 4:21. It says, rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. This is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, the self-proclaimed white man, right? He gave himself that title because it means, according to his dictionaries and shit, good, everything good. When really this nigga is everything bad. All right. It says, rejoice and be glad, O Lord of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken and shalt make thyself naked. See, this man was drunk with the wine of his policies and his laws. He thought he had everything in control. He thought he had the world. But he has he has been so careless, Esau Edom, that now he's being exposed with all the wickedness that he's really stands for. Right? Even Job said he would not let this man by his dogs, basically. I believe it's like Job 27. Let me see if I can grab that real quick. Right, this devil is less than a dog. He's really nothing. The scriptures say, as for the other people that come up from Adam, they're nothing, less than a drop of water from a vessel, that spills over while you're walking or something. And Esau called himself white, Let me see if I can grab this. All right, it's Job 30. You can grab it real quick. Job 30:1. It says, but now they that are younger than I have me in derision, whose fathers I would have disdained to have set with the dogs of my flock. See, Job did not want this devil, Esau Edom, the so-called white man, near his dogs. But they have now what? You're allowed to what? Do sex with animals, marry the animals. Trump somewhat is coming in and try to fix that, but it's too late. All this wickedness that they have done, and now that they're at the end, now they're like, oh, whatever. Lamentations 4:22. It says, the punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. See, so we went through what we went through, and we went through that hardcore bondage, right? Being killed off. There's many stories. Them using our teeth, taking our teeth right out of our mouth to use it for themselves. using our skins, eating us. I'm talking about the Israelites, Yahweh's people. These devils ate us, you know, mutilated us, rape, rob, murder, uh, all of that. So we went through all of that, right? It says, but we still have to go through Jacob's trouble. That's why you see things now like this segregation, which, truth be told, they do the segregation stuff. You'll really see who's the problem, right? They got all these mad problems in the road right now. The Teslas being destroyed. Who do you think is doing that? The most Jake could do is take a Tesla, not destroy it, probably go sell it somewhere. And there was no talks about that. They just been destroyed. Ain't nobody stealing them nothing. Hey, this segregation thing will show how wicked and vile Esau is. Anyway, let me take this point, because we was good. We was good. When we was free from slavery, we had our own towns and things like that. We was good, right? Women was in order, children were happy, right? Everything was good. Esau fucking upset and mad came and destroyed that and segregated us with him. And now look at this place, right? We built America, the roads, the cities and all of that stuff. They want segregation. I can't wait to see what it's going to do for them. The hell we going to segregate? They still going to follow us. They still going to follow us, Anyway, it says the punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sin. So Esau got a lot to pay for, right? And it's just, I'm talking about, it's just interesting and funny. The stuff that Trump is doing right now, thinking he's about to say something. Even the everyday laborer, pursuant to Job chapter 20, when it says every hand of the wicked shall come upon Esau Edom when he's about to fill his belly. These individuals is saying, they don't want that. Oh no, not segregation. It'd be like food with no seasoning. They segregated us, basically. Anyway, Isaiah 47:7, and thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart. Neither didst remember the latter end of it. Therefore hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, that saith in thine heart, I am and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, now shall I know the loss of children. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, and one day the loss of children and widowhood. They shall come upon thee in their perfection, for the multitude of thy sorceries and for the great abundance of thine enchantments. Why is that? Because your ass is going to World War III, right? You're going to get destroyed, pursuant to prophecies, against your own allies, right? And Russia. Russia will lead your allies to destroy you, right? That's the time we're moving towards. Right, Revelation 11:14 says the third woe coming quickly. All the sorceries, enchantments, and things that you put on people, right? Demons, got people blinking. Says we see, yeah, Isaiah 47:10. It says, for thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge it have perverted me. And thou hast said in thine heart, I am and none else beside me. Therefore shall evil come upon thee. Thou shalt not know from whence it riseth, and mischief shall fall upon thee. Thou shalt not be able to put it off, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. Right? Then it goes on to say, basically at verse 11, it's saying you're going to be destroyed. Then it goes on to say in verse 12, it says, stand now with thine enchantments, and with the multitude of thy sorceries wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be thou shalt be able to profit, if so be thou mayest prevail. So the Most High is taunting this devil, saying, go ahead and continue, and let me see how good those enchantments and sorceries are going to help you, which they won't, right? It says, thou art weary in the multitude of thy counsels, right? So this devil was, you back in the day, you probably went to like one council, made one plan. They laughed about how they was gonna destroy somebody that day. Now they going to like 30 councils in one day, try to figure out how they gonna help themselves. It says thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly procrastinators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. So all these people that was helping you, let them come and try to help you now. It says, behold, they shall be as stubble. The fire shall burn them. So they will be destroyed, right? The fire will come. Ain't nothing that you can predict that's going to save you, right? No chat, GBT, or AI is going to tell you anything, but what it's been telling you is that The last selfie will be what? Nuclear destruction. It says, behold, they shall be as stubble. The fire shall burn them. They shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. There shall not be a coal to warm at, nor fire to sit before it. Thus shall they be unto thee, with whom thou hast labored, even thy merchants. From thy youth they shall wander every one to his quarter, none shall save thee. See, so they can be dipping, right? America is no longer the place to be. This place is not safe anymore. All right, we got this. Don't eat pork, guys. It says a pivot moment, right? A pivotal moment. Some travel agents are now urging their clients to avoid the United States. It's facts. Tourists are canceling their trips, spooked by recent incidents that suggest the U.S. is not a safe place to be. And once again, right now, what's happening in the U.S.? You know, maybe they think, damn, at any moment, nukes can fly, which would be the correct thought, right? No one's thinking about, wow, we got 1,000 years, you know, to lollygag around. No, it's not safe no more. Nukes can fly at any moment, you know, but we understand the prophecies, right? We're in that time, though. It says, by midday Wednesday, Canadian travel agent Dion had received another 2 emails from clients canceling their travel plans to the United States or voicing worries about their safety should they keep them. It says, one client sought to nix his cruise out of Puerto Rico, while another wrote that they were worried about visiting Rochester, New York this coming May. Their messages all stem from fears of how they would be treated, their safety, and whether they'll be allowed entry. Dion, who is based in Ontario, told Salon no one wants to enter a possible volatile situation, even worse, be denied entry. Dion says she's been receiving an influx of these emails from clients since President Donald Trump began targeting Canada and enacting his crackdown on immigration. Right, and like I said, this man is targeting anybody. You know, you just don't know. You don't know, right? It's not safe. It says in that stories of U.S. border officers denying entry to or detaining tourists and hiring conditions made international headlines. Since Trump took office in January, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement has detained at least 4 tourists. See, right, and it's the same mindset. You can't be a tourist and deny these fake JOOs over there. Right? If you over there talking shit about them and you think about to come to America where you think it's just about America, no. These devils are about the JOOs. Obviously, his whole cabinet is about the JOOs, right? And what is that? The greater Israel, increasing the greater Israel. Who you think is going to do that? Who you think is going to back them militarily? America. Right? They can't do it themselves, obviously. It says, since Trump took office in January, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement has detained at least 4 tourists, 3 from Europe and 1 from Canada, each for upwards of 10 days after they attempt to enter the country. U.S. Customs and Border Protection has also been denying entry for nationals. Like, what the hell? So they couldn't just get a plane ticket back out of here? They got to holding them for 10 days? The combination has been made potential visitors scared to travel to the U.S. out of fear they too will be detained, turned away, or targeted. Now some travel agents like Dion are loath to encourage U.S.-bound trips altogether. Yeah, it's no longer the place. It's a vile place, right? Isaiah 32:5, it says, the vile person shall be no more called liberal, nor the churl said to be bountiful. For the vile person will speak villainy, and his heart will work iniquity, to practice hypocrisy, and to utter error against the Lord Yahweh, to make empty the soul of the hungry, and he will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail. See, holding people in there for 10 days, who knows, you know, fairly treated, unfairly treated. We already see that what these individuals that's getting detained, you know, complaints coming out about cruelty and all of that, you know, people that just, you know, whatever the case may be. It says the instruments also of the cruel are evil. He devises wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words, even when the needed speak it right, right? And this is that 2 horns, right? Like a dragon. Esau, Edom. Let me see, where is that at? Because when you had Biden let them all in, now you got Trump arresting them. All right, you ain't say, okay, y'all just get up out of here. Revelation 13:11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of, he didn't give him time, nothing. And this is Jacob's trouble, right? Because it's starting with our people. But hey, now what? The everyday American is feeling it. People that's trying to travel here is like, I don't know. It's not safe. Shit. And then you got to worry about your children, Revelation 13:11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. See, so Biden administration, so-called, and this goes into what? The two parties, your Republican Party and your Democratic Party, but ultimately he's going to speak as a dragon and issue out these draconian measures, right? Harsh decrees. That's why Trump is signing executive orders like what? Banning people, shipping them off to prison for talking about the JOOs, right? Canceling tuition, for college to these different people, right? No one saved Indian, Chinese, Japanese, Russian, It says, and I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. Yeah. So, he's speaking with draconian measures. Let me go back where I was at over here. So yeah, what is it? Biden. So Biden let him in, and now Trump is just sending him off to prison. Hey, this is the devil, and no one is safe, right? Jeremiah 15:23 says, "How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How has Babylon become a desolation among the nations? Have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, and thou wast not aware. Thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against the Lord Yahweh." Right? Exactly. So what? America's headed for destruction. And it's become broken, a desolation. It's breaking down. No, it's no longer safe to come here. No one wants to come here, right? No one likes Trump. No one likes Americans in general, right? And because of why? Because they're backing these JOOs that's committing the crimes that they're committing. And people is like, we're not with that, Nahum 3 or Nahum 1, and let me get I'll just start at 7. It says Nahum 1:7, the Lord Yahweh is good, a stronghold in the day of trouble, and he knows them that trust in him, right? So any individual that can't call on the name of the Lord, Yahweh is not, he know that you don't trust in him, right? Because you can't even call on his name, right? You ain't gonna pretend and not call on his name for years and years and years, and then when he show up, try to say it. That's why the scriptures say, Lord, Lord, have I not cast out demons in your name? Sometimes, no, bro, right? Nahum 1:7, it says, the Lord Yahweh is good, a stronghold in the day of trouble, and he knoweth them that trust in him. But with an overflowing flood, he will make an utter end of the place thereof, and darkness shall pursue his enemies. What do you imagine against the Lord Yahweh? He will make an utter end, affliction shall not rise up the second time. So this whole segregation shit ain't gonna work, right? That was the wrong card to pull. It ain't gonna happen. Pretty much they have to bring complete destruction to America, right? You're not gonna round up the Israelites and try to put them back in slavery. Your own people not with that, And what you got Space Force. You think you about to stop Yahweh Shai when he returns? No, that's not happening. It says, for while they be folding together as thorns, and while they are drunken as drunkards, they shall be devoured as stubble fully dry. There is one come out of thee that imagineth evil against the Lord Yahweh, a wicked counselor. Thus says Lord Yahweh, though they be quiet and likewise many, yet thus shall they be cut down. When he shall pass through, though I have afflicted thee, I will afflict thee no more. For now will I break his yoke from off thee, and will burst thy bonds in sunder. So, whatever Trump think he's going to do, whatever these banking elites think they're going to do, it ain't going to happen, right? Affliction shall not rise up the second time, right? And what? We just got Lamentations 4. We're at the end of our punishment in the beginning of Esau's punishment, right? For now will I break his yoke from off thee, and I will burst thy bonds asunder. And the Lord Yahweh have given a commandment concerning thee, that no more of thy name shall be sown. Out of the house of thy gods will I cut off the graven images and the molten images. I will make thy grave where thou art vile. See, America is now vile. It's no longer people is considering whether they should go to America or not. Usually people are like, oh, I'm going straight to Miami, turn up, all of that. But that is no longer the case. Not say people over there in Miami at the golf course where Trump golfing at shooting bullets and stuff. You don't know, right? It says, behold upon the mountains the feet of him that bringeth good tidings, that publishes peace. O Judah, keep thy solemn feast, perform thy vows, for the wicked shall no more pass through thee. He is utterly cut off. See, we are about to get glory and greatness, right? We're about to go back to where we were at, even better, right? The new kingdom, new bodies, right? Nahum 3, and I'll start at 1. Nahum 3:1 says, woe to the bloody city, it is full of lies and robbery, the prey departeth not. The noise of a whip, and the noise of rattling of the wheels, and of the prancing horses, and of the jumping chariots. The horsemen lifted up both the bright sword and the glittering spear, and there is a multitude of slain, and a great number of carcasses, and there is none end of their corpses. They stumble upon their corpses. It said, because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcraft, right, that set up the nations through her whoredoms, and families through her witchcrafts. The Lord says, behold, I am against thee, said the Lord Yahweh of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will show the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame. And I will cast a abominable filth upon thee, and make thee vile, and set thee as a gazing stock. It says, I will cover you with filth and show the world how vile you really are. Yeah, America, I don't know. I'm canceling trips and plans over there. Something is crazy. Something is happening in America, right? The end is happening, the collapse. Habakkuk 2:3, it says, for that vision is yet an appointed time, that the end shall speak and not lie. Though it will tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. See? So that vision is what the prophecies about Esau being revealed, the end of America, the destruction of America, the beginning of us coming together, pursuant to Ezekiel 37. We're coming together, right? We're speaking the word. We're putting on that new man, rehearsing the righteous acts. We're doing what the Lord is asking us to do. That's how you know that we're doing good. And Esau that is in. Why? Because they're collapsing, they're divided, right? They don't know who to rule, how to rule, what to do. But we know exactly what to do. It says in the scriptures, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, right? So in the times that we're in, we know who we are and what to do. And which is what? Wait upon the Lord, trust in him, because he's about to come and destroy this place, America, right? And we have nothing to worry about. We're just waiting, Habakkuk 2:15. Let me grab this. It says, Habakkuk 2:15, what sorrow awaits you who make your neighbors drunk? You force your cup on them so you can gloat over their shameful nakedness. See? But soon it will be your turn to be disgraced. Come, drink, and be exposed. Drink from the cup of the Lord's judgment, and all your glory will be turned into shame. See, no more glory for Babylon the Great, right? No more. Trump talking about, he said something about a new age or the golden age or whatever. That glory is gone. It's been gone, right? There's no more of that. You're in. You're at your downfall. So here's this.
The number of Americans who say they want to leave the United States has been steadily increasing over the past 50 years. But I don't think anyone was ready for what happened the week after the 2024 election. And I'm not talking about who won the election. I'm talking about the record-breaking numbers of Americans who were searching online for how to leave the country. Now, this happens every election cycle, but this year was different simply due to the sheer volume and quantity of people searching for different things. This isn't just some fad or trend. This is a sign of underlying societal shifts in the psyche of the American public, where people are genuinely planning to move to different countries for a lot of different reasons, but also motivated by political reasons. So in this video, I want to share with you the top 10 countries that US citizens want to move to right now and how you can do it too. If we're meeting.
See, people don't want to be here no more, Lord willing, you're edified from lesson. I'll say shalom to those for leg, which consists of men, women, and children, shalom.